All right, everybody, welcome back to another video.
Welcome. So yeah, just wanted to talk about season 2. The connection in this game is terrible. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, welcome back to another more casual video. So kind of wanted to talk about season 2, which is set to drop on the 17th. Yeah, there's just simply not enough in that to sustain this game. I mean, you're talking about one map heavily inspired by Mount Grappa. It's just simply not enough, guys. All of this whole delay for one map. Keep in mind, we have 5 studios making this game, well, 4 studios making this game, and none of them seem to have the capacity to make more than one map or one cohesive DLC with at least 4 maps. That's what we were getting about 10 years ago. But, back then, teams were... Wow. Yeah, teams were just way more coordinated. Structure was just way better. No DEI. And that is clearly the issue here, guys. This is what happens. This is what you get. This game is absolutely terrible. And this is the issue with this game. It's terrible netcode. These connection issues are on my end, actually. But the game itself does have really poor sort of desync, hit detection issues at base level. And yeah, again, we didn't have this sort of stuff 10 years ago. These sort of problems of a severe lack in content. This isn't even half of the issue here. Like, we're talking launch maps are severely lacking in scale in and of itself. Yeah, absolutely terrible game. We've got Chinese, Japanese people in the server for some reason. What the fuck is this game? Yeah, season 2 is not going to save this game. Absolutely not. In order to save this game, you need to have one cohesive, massive DLC. And not just that, but you need a complete overhaul of the game itself. Your UI needs to change. Sorry about the gameplay, guys. My connection is just off today. Yeah, season 2 is just not saving this game, guys. It's actually highlighting many issues, this systemic issues this game has. Season pass is just not for this game. That whole strategy needs to be scrapped moving forward. We've essentially paid, I've paid $90 for this crap that, which is, again, severely lacking in content from its launch maps, and it's basically a free-to-play game. Again, please excuse the lag. I am working to fix that. I did make a video on that issue. Yeah, again, that's more of a connection issue on my side, client side. My packets just aren't reaching the server on time. Yeah, my packets aren't reaching the server on time, so... Wow, thank you, mate. At least pick me up. He's obviously a noob. Mate, you're pathetic. Jesus. Pick me the fuck. Thank you. What the? Okay. Again, ping is on some Chinese flex at the moment. Yeah, so season 2, guys. Again, we're talking about one map, which has, for some reason, needed to be delayed. And yeah, it's just not good enough. The game needs multiple different maps, multiple different environments, with new vehicles, Levolution, bring back certain game modes, emphasize scale, space, and large-scale combat. I mean, this would have been the perfect opportunity to actually bring in boats into the game. But they're fucking stupid. Again, sorry about the gameplay, guys. Connection is messed at the moment. I usually do drop some heavy kills in this game. Like I said, it is an enjoyable game at times. Like, it does have massive potential. I love the engine, the way the game looks, physics, the theme, the factions. It's all great stuff. But this game kind of feels like they're reusing Battlefield 1, but it's been reskinned into a modern theme. Like, if you go back and play BF1, and I do kind of think they've reused it here. But again, that lack in content is a severe problem in this game. Yeah, you need to emphasize large-scale warfare. You need to bring some new vehicle into the game. Boats would have been a massive chill out, mate. Jesus Christ. No. Yeah, boats would have been a nice addition. But I don't know what the hell they're doing, guys. Like, bring us attack boats. Where the fuck's the Amtrak? Bring the Amtrak back. Obviously the Little Bird is coming at some point, but you know, again, we don't know when, and everything's just dropping in random increments. It's all dropping at random dates. Again, nothing is one cohesive DLC. This is why I kept saying we need to get back to premium. Because premium, you get, yes, you had to pay $40 extra, but at least you got competent, high quality DLCs. Can help. Yeah, and we need to get back to competent, high quality DLCs again. Jesus Christ. There's some guys down there. The M4 in this game is not very good, man. See if Medic comes and helps. There's a guy over there. Come on. Slow ass fuck. Yeah, this is pretty much the real Battlefield experience, guys, at the moment. None of that 250 FPS gameplay from those YouTubers. Yeah, Season 2 is not... It's gonna get prepared to be underwhelmed. One map is simply not good enough. I'm struggling to understand what needed to be delayed. How was it so hard for 4 development teams to come together and actually create something that works? You know, it's just absolutely pathetic. And the other thing I don't understand is, you know, we've practically scrapped DEI at this point, but we're still, for some reason, toying with this broken system that completely needs to just get the hell out. Clueless teammates. Yeah. I'm keen on hearing what you guys think about Season 2. I personally don't think seasons are effective. It's just basically a cheat code for these developers to get away with doing the bare minimum. And, oh my god. Yeah, there needs to be a map that emphasizes vehicle play. Like, I know people love the close quarters shit. I do too, to an extent, but there needs to be a sense of variety in Battlefield. And this game just doesn't have it. It's too heavily focused on close quarters combat. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys think on Season 2 so far. I think it's absolutely pathetic what we've got going on. Again, one map. Really? And how long have you been waiting for one map? Fuck it, let's play another game. Because that was absolutely terrible, guys. I'm sorry for that piss poor gameplay, but what can you do? Connection's fucked. Like I said, I usually drop 50 kills a game on a good day. But with this connection I have currently at the moment, which is on my side, client side, this is the experience. I mean, there's not really much else to talk about with Season 2. I mean, the whole gas theme doesn't really seem like too much of a good gameplay mechanic either. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, the whole gas theme, I did say before, kind of feels like they've stolen that theme from Rainbow Six Siege. In fact, they've stolen quite a lot of elements from that game. Yeah, this game needs more operators. I mean, again, the UI needs an overhaul. The operators need more male operators, actually, because this is starting to piss me the fuck off. Like, this class, the medic class in NATO, is exclusively dominated by females, apart from this one guy, which you have to pay for through the battle pass. Again, heavy emphasis on inclusion, personality with most of the operators. And, you know, at face first value, you wouldn't even be able to tell that those are females that you're looking at because they've made an effort to hide their faces. I didn't sign up for that. There needs to at least be an option to change gender, you know, but that would require them to make more character models, which obviously they're not going to do. So my suggestion to them would be, okay, you need to release more male operators. Pretty simple when you think about it. It's absolutely cringing to have to play as a female, you know, no offense, but, you know, there's just something in my soul that is repulsed by that, especially hearing women dying in combat. I mean, I just don't get it. Yes, guys. So, I mean, in regards to Season 2, most of the content, I mean, they have released the trailer for it just yesterday, actually. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of the trailer itself, but most of the stuff was already leaked prior to this reveal, you know. I'm not sure who has been leaking all this stuff, but whether or not it was the insiders and what impact that would have on their NDAs, whether or not they even have to sign any NDAs, but clearly is, you know, you've got people leaking the updates, and people are just pretty much underwhelmed at this point with pretty much the lack of content you have to offer. Yeah, so it's very underwhelming, guys. I'm not too impressed. And yeah, that's what you can expect with this season model, guys. It's one shitty map. This game is, to me, is really easy. The only problem is this fucking lag, which I need to fix ASAP. Mate, pick me the fuck. Sorry for this homeless gameplay right now. So again, to reiterate some of the points I've made, Season 2 will not save this game. In the current state it's in, one map is just unacceptable. This Season Pass model just completely needs to go. You know, I've seen some of the comments on the reveal trailer, and it's absolutely in line with everything I'm saying. Because most people agree that there's just not enough content. And it's not just one map. They do have several other maps planned for the season. They plan to remake Propaganda. That, I think that was a rumor, but that could be in the works. They are remaking Goldmud. Again, not exactly the hardest map to remake. No idea why they would choose that, aside from its all-out warfare, large-scale, combined arms gameplay. Listen, great map, not exactly the most iconic or heavily demanded map. When people think of Battlefield 4, they're thinking of Siege of Shanghai, multiple various maps, which you could have added into the game. It seems to me like they don't want to do any hard work. They want to have the least friction as possible. You know, this is them working at their highest maximum capacity, and it's literally not good enough. You know, and this is what you get with a workforce orientated around inclusion, pushing progressivism, and they're all spread out, disconnected, split across countries. They're 4 studios, for fuck's sake. Multiple people seem to ignore this primary issue. You know, if your workplace culture is all over the place, so will your output be. And that is at the root of the issue. Another issue is equipment and weapons in this new season, the seasonal update. I personally haven't seen any information regarding what weapons, gadgets, or equipment they're adding to the game. Again, people were talking about gas grenades. I don't think that's likely. I think that was basically sort of an element of the map itself. And it seems to me that they've put so much effort into this one map, and it's a complete misuse of time management. Like, I do not understand what they're doing. There doesn't seem to be any word on factions either. It's just the same Pax versus NATO all over again. They are introducing probably a new skin with the gas mask, because this team are very clearly focused on customization. I mean, you know, for the winter reskin, we had multiple snow skins, and this is the only snow map in the game. Again, for many people, well, for thousands of people, a season 2 is a make or break for this game. I don't think DICE are reading the room at this point. Yes, the game sold well. You made millions, but there was a massive, steep decline in player engagement. And you haven't been able to maintain that engagement. And that's because the game's Battlefield DNA is non-existent in this game. There's also problems with desync, connection issues, and so on. But the overarching problem is the game's DNA is completely absent. This is what I've completely outlined in most of my videos. I mean, I've told you exactly what you need to do. The map itself, you know, heavy emphasis on this gas theme, and there doesn't seem to be any jets. It all seems to be focused again on ground vehicles, infantry combat. I have no idea what these people are doing in this studio. If anything, again, all of this is letting me know that they just simply do not have the capacity to continue making this game. And it's just incredible because we have 4 studios working on this game, and I've in detail highlighted this development team are a progressive workforce. This is what you get with a progressive team. Decline in quality, reduced output every single time in every game I've seen, from Halo to COD, Battlefield, Gears of War, a consistent pattern of recycling ideas from other games. Season pass shit, battle pass shit, Can't even make DLCs using portal mode, forge mode to get the community to reinforce the game with more content, which looks shit. This DLC, this season pass, season 2 update needed to actually hammer home some much needed change. So for instance, again, a complete UI overhaul with a new server browser, one that actually functions compared to what we have now. Drastically change the look of the UI. Could go for something more cleaner, minimalistic, visually easier on the eyes. The other problem is you need to bring in more operators, okay? Because as I just showed you, there's not enough male operators, especially with the medic class in NATO. Heavy emphasis on personality and inclusion, obviously. The content itself is the problem at the moment. Again, one map, no emphasis on large-scale warfare, no new vehicles to add to the sandbox. You could have added boats. This would have been a great time for some naval combat. Again, I've spoken about this before. Fort Linden that map was practically begging for naval combat. But for some reason, you haven't been able to provide attack boats. There's no jet skis, there's no carriers. Again, the vehicle sandbox is extremely limited compared to what we were getting over a decade ago. They aren't exactly faction specific either. So, for example, back in the day, the Russians would have their own version of the attack chopper. We only have one across the board. That same logic applies to every single vehicle in the game. We're only now getting word on the Little Bird. You know, content which should have been in the game day one has to be updated into the game. And again, you have 4 studios working on the game. Maybe it isn't a good idea for you to segregate and divide your team across multiple different countries and completely diversify the studios so they all create their own echo chambers and no one communicates effectively and content just isn't getting produced. Back into Battlefield 3, BF4, BF1, everything was one condensed, high-quality package. Again, premium. I basically headlined premium. We need to go back to that model because at least that way we were getting high-quality DLCs, you know, and they felt like one massive event. The community would come together, would have 4 high-quality, very detailed maps in one cohesive theme. It could be close quarters, it could be vehicle combat, it could be naval warfare. Again, with the season pass model, you don't have any of that. Your content is all subdivided, it's all disconnected, it's all dropping at random fucking dates. So people just come in, they play one map, they check out the game, and then they leave because no one's interested in the game. What you've provided just isn't enough to hold engagement. So yeah, let me know if any of this resonates. Tell me what you think about the game. Again, even bigger YouTubers are starting to realize, you know, they just can't hold the fort anymore. These are shills for the game. They don't really seem to be as critical as some of the smaller channels I've seen. And that's obviously because they're compromised. They have relationships with the developers. They've been paid to, sponsored in some way to sort of provide feedback. You know, this is the state of the game, guys. I was saying this at launch, you know, game has potential, but it is certainly missing a lot of that Battlefield DNA, and the lack of content is reinforcing that point. Anyway, let me know what you think. Yeah, see you in the next one.